Yes. Got to start off with a hand applause. Welcome, everyone. This is another edition of Hot Facts with Robert Reese live interview. We have a great one today, people. You guys know what I do. I scroll through channels and I find the people that are doing some really good work as far as the gig economy, but as far as doing some really good stuff, period. I found John here, people, by way of, I don't even realize or remember exactly when it was that it popped in, but I do know it's been a couple weeks, and I've been checking out the man's videos, and he has a very, very unique and system that's broken down that can absolutely help anyone achieve 25 to 30 to even $35 an hour by self accountability. And he has a metric system and all of this other great stuff. But without further ado, people, I'm doing enough talking. Let me go ahead and let this man introduce himself. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
McFall, and I started on YouTube about a year and a half ago because I got into food delivery and I really enjoyed doing it, and I learned how to do it really well, and I just wanted to share with everybody what I've learned and how I do things so that they could do better when they're out there doing food delivery, because it's really simple to make good money doing food delivery if you have the right marketplace and you have the right strategies to put in place to get the money that you're looking to get out there. So that's why I started my YouTube channel. When I first started doing food delivery, the first thing I did was jumped on YouTube to start learning from the gig tubers that were out here. And after doing food delivery for a while, I realized that there was some things that I felt that was missing in what I was watching. So that's kind of how I got started in YouTube. And that's why I put out the content that I do, Robert.
Yeah, and your content is very informational. I do like that. Now, I've seen a few of your shorts. Now, what I like about your channel, now there's a buddy of mine by the way of the DoorDash Revolution, and he likes to give information like you, not do the ride along thing, but actually get there and you're able to break down the things. And those videos there, I love those. Now, we have a similarity when it comes into how we started, and we saw some things and some things that needed to be fixed. But you said that you got on and you started watching some content creators. What were those content creators that you started watching that got you into wanting to with your content?
When I started watching YouTube and started watching content creators, I was watching people like UDM, and DoorDash Dad was just starting. I was watching Bentley Coop and your driver Mike, and then I started get into people like Nugs and More Finance, and there's just a whole bunch of different ones that I've watched over the time I've been looking at it on YouTube. Still today, I watch UDM, some of his content. I watch Pedro DoorDash Santiago. I watch More Finance. Another one is I don't really watch DoorDash Dad anymore because he's kind of getting out of the gig tube stuff, and that's kind of where I like to focus.
Right. Now, you said gig finance. You said a lot of great names there. By the way, when I came in, your driver Mike was one of the first channels that I saw as far as giving information. That I said, okay, dude knows what he's speaking about, and he's giving the information there. So your driver Mike is awesome. Nugs, I like Nugs because of how young he is, and I like to see how he attacks his whole concept. You know, he has challenges, and then he goes for all. I like to see a young mind go after the game like that. Now you're approaching 2,000 subscribers. You're at about 1,600 subscribers, 1.6K there. Now I also see that you have some paid promotion on your channel there. So that means you're doing a good job. People like the information. That's why I'm doing the interview also. What sponsors do you have behind you?
Right now, it's for the YouTube stuff. I have TubeBuddy. For the GigTube stuff, I have SimplyWise, which is a great tool that I use all the time when I'm out here doing food delivery. It's an app that I use to snap all of my receipts. I do a lot of shop and pay and order and pay orders on DoorDash and Grubhub and some on Uber Eats. So SimplyWise, it's a great place that you can just snap all your receipts. You can organize them. You can put notes in. So I use SimplyWise a whole lot. Another one that I use for my business personally is QuickBooks Self-Employed, and that is a really good um, accounting and bookkeeping software that allows you to put in your income. It allows you to put in your expenses. It allows you to calculate out your miles. So it's just all around. I mean, QuickBooks is one of the most well-known accounting software out there. And when they put out self-employed, it's really good for gig tubers because you can put your miles in, which is one of the biggest things that we do. But it really allows me to keep track of all of my income and my expenses, and then at the end of the year it just spits all the information out that you need to be able to do your taxes without any question. And then it also allows you to snap receipts when you make purchases for your business. You can actually snap your receipts, so all of it is right there. And the great thing about the apps that I use is you can get it on your iPhone or Android, you can get it on your iPad, and you can use it on your computer. So all of my information is readily accessible wherever I am and wherever I need it.
Right now, I've been using QuickBooks for forever. I've been a 1099 for the past 20 something years. So I use that specifically. And the main point you said was, when it's all said and done, it computes it and it puts it all over to the category. You get that email and it says, okay, you hit that button and it's there. So now, people, it's really anything that you really missed that you kept receipts for. Now you can actually see, okay, I did leave this one out. Like you said, take that snapshot and it is in there. And it does every single thing. And I like the mileage thing, the tracking, because you can track. Now, I track the driving from wherever I am to the place because you never know if the app is really going to add those miles in. So I do those miles, and then from when it's all said and done, the total miles, I'll know my adjustment on what I have to do there to go in, because I don't do the standard. You got to go ahead and do the itemized deduction to make sure you're getting every single thing. Now, what I do like is your metric system. Can you break down your metric system and let the people know where they can get it at?
Yeah, in every single one of my videos and in my channel description, I put a link to my metric spreadsheet. And this is something I initially, if you go back, to the beginning of my channel, when I started putting out videos, I started talking about it because I put together this metric spreadsheet for myself because I wanted to see how I was doing when I was out there. Some days I do really good, some days I do not so good. And I really wanted to have a baseline number that I knew this is how much I was averaging out there per shift, per hour. I really wanted to know what that number was to see if I was, doing a good job, number one, but it really taught me and allowed me to see where I needed to improve at when I'm out here doing food delivery. It helped me see where those numbers were so I could see what I needed to do and what I needed to do better. And if I saw something that it looked like it wasn't a good number, I would try something else to get that number to increase. And that's kind of what the metric spreadsheet does for you. Because when you're out here, especially even part-time, I do it 4 or 5 days a week, and I'm just out here grinding. And at the end of the day, you don't really pay attention to where you are overall because you're out there just trying to get your money. And if you plug all those numbers into this spreadsheet, then it'll show you what your overall dollars per mile, dollars per hour, and your average per order is. So I put it together for myself, but then I realized what it did for me, so I started wanting to share it with all of my subscribers.
And that is awesome. Now, people, this is what I've been trying to get people to understand, that when you're doing these deliveries, you gotta stop looking at it as I see this or I don't see this or I'm not gonna take it. You gotta understand some things, and to really understand exactly what you are doing, this metric system will help. I have a spreadsheet, people, that I use, and you guys see me and you guys say you took a $3 or something order without knowing if the person was going to tip or not. Well, that's where my service comes in, that I never let down, because I'm a true independent contractor. I have businesses where I have to have contracts signed. So I have a certain way on how I conduct myself when I'm out there. And I know if I do that for people that understand business and service, they typically will go ahead and give you some more extra. But at the end of the day, when we crunch these numbers, my numbers are sitting in the golden zone where you want to be, and I'm doing these things. So the only way to really see if it's working is to break it down. And I advise you guys to head over, subscribe on the man's channel, get a copy of this metric system, because we have people that use Para. Yes, you can use Para or Para, however you want to say it. We have people that use Para for accepting an order. You're accepting an order, saying you're feeling good about accepting an order. Now, you can feel good about accepting the order. Now, let's break it down metrically to see if that order really made sense. And if you really want to compare and do some footwork into what you got to do, head to the man's channel, go download this metric system, and see exactly where you are. Now, you have a sales background, as do I, which is why I understand the metric system, your KPIs, and anything else you want to bring into the table. I understand all of this. What is your background in sales?
Well, for about 4.5 years, I tell people that I was in the slippery business because I sold oil business to business. And currently what I'm doing is I'm doing carrier sales, which I sell freight to companies. Actually, my last load today was coming out of California. So I touched your state, Robert. But I sell freight right now, and I've done the upfront sales, getting customers for the company I'm working at, and now I'm doing sales on the back end, which is selling the loads to the carriers that are taking them. So I've done sales for a long time.
Oh, yes. Now, doing the sales for a long time, you have a customer service edge about you also. You know how to wiggle in and figure out what you got to do. How important is that when you're out here doing this gig thing, as far as from you, the driver, to merchant, and then also merchant relations, and then giving that back to the customer?
Well, I think that and I've actually done videos on this, Robert, but I personally believe that we have three customers when we're out here doing food delivery. Number one, we have the customer that we're picking up the food for. They are obviously very important because they're the ones that are asking for the service. I also believe that the restaurants are our customers. We should go in there and present ourselves in the best way possible. And that really helps us in building relationships at these restaurants that we're going to every day to pick up these orders. And one of the benefits that you get out of that is when you walk into a restaurant that you've established a relationship with somebody with, when you walk in, they say, "Hey, who are you here for?" And they're like, "Let me get it done for you right away." And on top of that, just kind of treating people the way that you want to be treated. I've always taken that philosophy with everything I've done, but even into the food delivery. And on top of that, and a lot of people don't agree when I say this, but the platforms are your customers too. You're out there to serve the platforms when you accept an order from them. And so I personally believe that there's three customers that we work with when we're out here, and I always try to provide the best possible service to all three.
And that's exactly what I try to relay. And just like you, I get a lot of backflap for it, but it's business and people. When you understand business, and he does sales also, people, where you have to have that in you. You have to have it. And like he said, there's three in there. There's clientele, people, that's clientele. So that's customer and customers. They both start with C. Okay, clientele and customer. You got to give that great service. Now, what I do like is your approach on, and I agree with you on this, your approach on acceptance rate. Can you explain to people out there why your acceptance rate matters and how to have a better acceptance rate if you multi-app?
The first thing that I would say to that, Robert, is your acceptance rate doesn't matter. And what I mean by that is, as far as whether you'll get penalized on any of these apps for declining every single order that they send you, then you will not be penalized if you decline a whole bunch of orders. On the flip side of that, acceptance rating is vitally important, because from what I've learned in doing the food delivery and what I've learned from watching other people, I'm going to bring up more finance like I do in a lot of my videos. He has shown time and again that acceptance rate on these apps will help you get better orders when you're out here doing food delivery. I just recently did a video where I talked about the fact that when I'm out here multi-apping, I actually shut off the other apps when I'm on an active order so they don't send me orders, so I don't have to decline it. So what that means is, because I'm not having to decline those orders, that my acceptance rate gets higher than if I were to just, decline every order on an app that's coming through, because I'm taking a delivery on a different platform. And this really affects your acceptance rating when you just hit decline all the time. And even though like Uber Eats and Grubhub doesn't show you those numbers, I guarantee you somebody or some computer algorithm has its eyes on it. And the higher your acceptance rating is, the better orders that you'll receive from the platforms. That doesn't mean that you won't get sent the junk orders, because you're still going to get those, but you'll have more better orders if your acceptance rating is higher on the platforms.
Yes, yes, yes. I do agree, and that's what I meant by the importance of it, and why it's important. Yeah, we all know you cannot take anything you want. You know what I mean? But in order to receive, that's why when I do my apps, I'm a diamond driver on Uber. I'm the highest level on every app that I drive for. I don't multi-app with them. Like in the morning time, if I'm doing Spark, I'm only going to do Spark from 6 a.m. to about 10:30, 11. I turn that completely off. Now, all of my accepting the orders that I am getting, all that builds up my stuff there, so that when I am doing that app, I'm going to be able to do my thing. Then I'll turn on my Uber Eats for the lunch. No other app with it. I'm going to take all those orders to get my points and everything, so I can get up and build up there. Then I'll turn that one off. And I'll start it like that also, because here in California, also, it really helps out that way, because we have Proposition 22 here. Now, they haven't figured it out on, you can work the different apps and still get your hours for Prop 22 and get the extra on each app. A lot of drivers here do not know how to do that. They multi-app like you, and then like what you say, they'll keep declining, and then they'll do a certain amount of orders on one, and then they'll only have like one order on this one, or like for the whole pay period, they may only have like 10 orders, so they're really not going to get the extra money there because they're not utilizing it right. That's why I do it one app. I'll go ahead and get, let's say if I'm going to do 40 hours in the week, it's going to be broken down into the 2 or 3 apps. You know what I mean? So how they do it is every other week, I'll have at least 20 to 30 hours on each app, and it comes in like that. You know what I mean? Now, if I was picking and choosing each one every day, I would not understand how Prop 22 worked. But the people that don't understand it like that, they are the ones that, when they accept the order, they're just declining they're declining the other apps instead of turning it off. You know what I mean?
And I guarantee you, Robert, if I worked in California, I would do food delivery and multi-apping differently than I do it in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes, exactly. Now, I wanted to get into got the acceptance rate thing I want to get into. Um, let's get into acceptance rate, why it matters. And all right, what study did you I know you watched more finance, but what study did you do yourself? What video did you or did you do a video to demonstrate it, or was it taking a track of the time that you did it in, like a week or so, 2 weeks, and then broke it down? How was that?
I honestly, I don't do ride along videos for a couple reasons. Number one, it doesn't work with my situation because my wife and my 2-year-old son go out with me when I'm doing food delivery. That's part of my family time. That's another story. I can talk to you about that another time. So I really don't do ride-alongs, but a lot of what I do on my channel, as far as showing people what I do out there, is I do shorts. A lot of times I'll do shorts. I'll also I put out posts and show, this is what happened at this particular moment, and I talk to people through
Right.
my posts. And then a lot of what I do beyond that is I just incorporate into my videos what happens when I'm out here doing food delivery. So I run into a situation when I'm out here doing food delivery, and I'm like, man, I really need to talk to my audience about that, because that's something really important. And that's kind of how I come up with the content that I'm going to put out there. Is a lot of it, I'd say probably 85, 90% of it is things that I've actually experienced when I'm out here doing food delivery.
Right. Now you mentioned to me backstage, off air, that this is your first interview here, and doing, and that surprises me because when I take a look at your videos, I enjoy it a whole bunch that I wanted to interview you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's how much I enjoy your videos. So it baffles me that we have a lot of these content creators out here that they talk and preach a whole lot and they say numbers in their videos, but it's not the right type of numbers. And we have someone here that is really and has a metric system for all to use for free. You can use the metric system, and when you watch, and people forget the gig world, the man will teach you steps on if you're trying to do an eBay, it doesn't matter. He has steps for business. He has steps, and we're going to get into that too. He has steps for business. It baffles me that no one wants to sit you down for an interview. And I want to, now you said that some people, how the acceptance rate thing, you get some backlash. I get that too, and some people don't want to talk to me because I really say the facts of what's out there, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. But outside of that, I wanted to. I'm trying to figure out how no one else wants to.
Well, that's more on me, Robert. And again, if you've watched a lot of my videos, a lot of my subscribers know this, but I get up at 4 in the morning and I work on YouTube, and then I go to work. I'm working at 6 until 3, and then I get off of work, and then I go do food delivery, and then I also do food delivery all day on Saturday and sometimes on Sunday. Just a little bit of my personal life is my wife is here from the Philippines, and we've been working through the green card process. So everything that happens in my house financially currently, it's all on my shoulders. So I just really haven't had the time. So that's kind of what the reason is that I haven't done any interviews before this. And just so you know, she got her work permit, so she's actually putting out resumes now, and I'm going to have a lot more time available to do things like this. But for me, it's just my personal situation. It's kind of why I haven't been able to get on and do interviews. And you approached me and you're like, hey, let's get this going right now. And I thought, yeah, I think it's time for me to step out. And my wife is going to start working in the next week or two, so it's going to free up that time where I can devote more time to my YouTube channel and doing things like, meeting great people like you and having these conversations. But it's just I've been grinding a lot for the last couple of years, 70 to 80 hours a week, so I just don't really have the time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, buddy, and that's impressive, people. You don't understand, and this is a manhood thing right here. You don't understand what he just said. He has a wife here from another country, and he's doing all the stuff and making sure that everything else is done. You know, you got to make sure the paperwork is done and all this stuff, and get all this stuff, the processes, and she's doing all this stuff while delivering content and doing his thing. And that is very impressive. 70, 80 hours, people. You guys got to understand. Some of you guys are complaining about doing not even it's not even half of that. You guys, some of you guys complain too much, and this man is putting it all there. And I feel honored because I have the interview, and it's like he said though. That's how, like, when I watch, I don't try to schedule when I'm gonna approach someone. If I'm like, man, let me try to see what happens, and then by the graces of God, people, it worked out, and it worked out. And to me, I was bad. That was batting 100 because it was really, um, when you're in sales, when you're in sales, you got to go. You go through your feedbacks and all the and go through all those. So I normally have those, but this one, people in the sales world, you would call this a lay down, depending on whatever business you're doing. I pulled someone from the floor and set them down and close the deal. Whatever you want to say, how it went, it was one of those, and it was a success. Now, for you content creators out there, take notice. Go watch the videos. Please watch the videos. Now, let's go into this other aspect about you and helping people as far as starting any type of business and getting them going in the right direction. What made you want to start doing that?
Well, I just, for me, I think that gig tube work, or I'm sorry, I think that gig work is a really great thing, and you can make some really good money at it. But when you're doing gig work, it's just like having a job. You're trading your time for dollars. And I wanted to start showing people in the gig community that they can do things and set up things in their lives so that they're making money without having to put in and trade those time for dollars. So that's kind of why I started about a year ago. I started doing the semi passive income stuff. And then back in, I think it was January, I started doing the YouTube videos because I want to show people that they can do things other than just food delivery to make money. And by doing these other things that I teach on my channel, it will help them not have to be trading that time for dollars, because you can end up making 50 or 100 or 150 or $1,000 an hour if you set up semi-passive income revenue streams. So that's really why I started doing it. And um, again, once my wife gets working, there's going to be a whole lot of new stuff that's going to be happening, and things that I'm going to put together and put out there to help people, go from, not knowing anything about it to being able to just jump into it and start doing it. So I just really want to help people, do better for their selves and for their families, and to get some of that time back to be able to enjoy that time with their families.
Sorry, I was on mute. Right. I want to ask you this. You're doing this. You're helping people. First, I want to ask you: do you have a recent success story as someone that said, "Hey, I decided to start something and go forward with," and where does the passion come from to want to go beyond and do that?
Um, well, who was it? I believe it was KB. He recently said that he started doing his YouTube videos, and he was really excited that he started his YouTube channel. There's been a lot of people over the last year that have started um, trying things and doing things, and trying new things that have come to my channel. My subscribers, I honestly, on my semi-passive income and my YouTube videos, it's mostly my subscribers that watch those videos. And there's a lot of people that have commented and said that they've, taken that step, or they're trying something new. They're trying to do, Russ Ride. He's a good guy from California, like you are.
Mhm.
And he said that he watches a lot of my YouTube videos, and he's like, yeah, that is something that I need to start doing, is putting out content more consistently and that type of thing. So I can't say that there's anyone that, has started a business and, they're a millionaire yet. But there's a lot of people that have come onto my channel, and my subscribers have left comments that they've started getting into things and trying different things. And I can't wait to see what the outcome is going to be. It's still fresh. It's still kind of new. So, hopefully over time I'll get some more stories like that. But there's a lot of people that have said, hey, I'm going to try this. And it's kind of hard to get them to come back and tell you, hey, I tried this and this is what the outcome was, which is why I want to put some more things together once I have more time, when I'm not working so many hours, to be able to build those things so I can communicate a little bit more with my subscribers and the people that are out there trying to do the stuff that I'm teaching.
Right. That's an awesome passion. That's an awesome passion right there. So, you got people starting it up. Now you talked about the consistency and, and as far as putting the videos up, I don't know if you've noticed, I have about 850 videos up in 6 months. So
wow, that is grinding. That is grinding, dude.
Yeah, so I have 850 uploads in 6 months. My channel started, my first video was up January 25th. Okay, that was the first video up. And I stay consistent, and I like doing the lives. I like giving the information. We got a technical difficulty. Let me see if I can bring up. There he is. I got you. Let me see. Are you set? Let me see. All right. Are you set? Try to say something so I can see if I can hear you. It says you're muted, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not muting you the same time you're trying to hit mute. Oh, it says your mic isn't connected, I guess. Is it connected? We'll try to figure that out. But he can hear me there on his phone. Yeah, I try to stay as consistent as possible. What I was saying is I like doing the lives because it allows me to stay consistent, obviously. But I'm able to hit and try to reach other people consistently. I love doing the shorts, but I like breaking down my workloads in blocks, so it allows me to be able to put up a certain amount of videos each day. So that helps me stay consistent, and the fact that I love finding random things to report on. Whenever I see something else like that, my camera is constantly rolling, so I'm able to put up, like I say, I do my work shifts in blocks. So I'll typically do two to three work blocks, and in between each work block, that's possibly 4 shorts in there, because I like to utilize my shorts as what I feel is going to be that moment in the video that people are going to watch. And I don't want them to have to try to find it in the video itself. So I put that into a short. If you notice in my short sections, there's tons of thousands of views and videos. I like to use those because even if they clicked on a video and skipped it and they did not get to that part, that clip from that same video still got that video as just due. So that's how I utilize the shorts there. So with getting at least 3 to 4 shorts, and then when I see news out there, if I see something happen, I like to report. So I'll get my phone out, and that's right on the spot. If something happens in the news that I have to report on, so that's how I'm able to stay consistent and keep getting them up. I said my goal was to have 1,000 videos up because my philosophy was, if I have 1,000 videos up, there's no way in the world I won't have 1,000 subs to start off. My whole thing was, and if I do it like that, I'm not depending on too much of one video as far as the watch hours. If I just have constant stuff out there, the watch hours are just going to go as they go. And I'm just circling them into a system like, it's like solar energy, it's working for itself. So
Yeah.
I do that. And then like randomly the videos that I put up, it may like some may not hit. And then I'll go and check and wow, this video is doing this now. But I just let them sit in the rotation and just let it do what it do and just keep putting up videos every day. And luckily, right now, at about 2.7K subs in 6 months. So
That
you
is
know,
awesome in 6 months.
so yeah, the work is going in, and being able to do certain things on the channel helps. Like on Tuesdays, I have like a men's open link thing. I talk about the importance of manhood and things we can do to better ourselves and things like that. I don't care if anyone watches it. I'm going live and I'm doing it. Someone will click on and feel like, oh, he's talking about bam, bam, bam. So I got that going on. I have a boxing show with another content creator on Wednesdays, and it's called The Box Office. So we go over boxing because he's a boxing analyst on YouTube. So we
Yeah.
came together under the HotFacts brand. So on Wednesdays at 5 p.m., I have that going on. I have the interviews set up in certain spots, and then I have the ride-alongs, and yeah. So you know what I mean. So having it put like that, so I don't have to have 2 channels or 3 channels. Having the people understand the concept from the beginning as it started off works out better for me than where you'll get someone to say, well, I want to do something else, so I have to make a whole separate channel for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have to spend time on that second channel, to get it how you're doing on this one. So I have it set up so that they know that they're going to see different things on the channel.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I've seen a number of gig tubers do. Is they will sit down and they'll put a video together and tell their audience, that hey, I'm stopping this and I'm doing this, and I've never taken that approach. I just introduce something new and just go with it, and it seems to have been working for me.
Well, it works. It works mighty fine because it's gotten my attention. Now,
but I'm always consistent in my putting out videos, and I mean, they know that on Tuesdays and Sundays is when my DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub videos come out, and then on Thursdays is when that other content comes out. And as my channel
right.
evolves, that might change a little bit, but overall, I keep a very consistent schedule, and everybody knows on my channel that subscribes, they know when that content is coming out.
Right now, I have a very important question for you because I understand what happened with the deal. Well, I broke down the Lunchbox and Novodyne deal and how that went in with with the gig apps. Now, a lot of people don't understand when they see Amazon and Grubhub. They don't understand what can happen. I understand what can possibly happen because of that. And a lot of people say, well, Grubhub's going nowhere, but they don't understand, the power of Amazon. And I want to touch on this because a lot of people don't know this gig app and the third party that you are doing is because of Amazon. Amazon started off with all these warehouses getting up all over the place. They started doing the third party and getting more pickers in the place and the whole picking process to where they have to go third party. So you are doing what you're doing by way of Amazon starting it off. That's why a lot of your main corporations that have distribution centers, they are now operating the same model as Amazon. Okay, you can do the DTC, direct to customer, and all of that stuff straight from there. That's how it's going. So now that they have went ahead and did this thing with Grubhub, I look at the possibility of what can happen because of Amazon. Give me your thoughts on this whole Amazon and Grubhub thing.
Well, Amazon tried to get in food delivery on their own in 2015. So it's something that's been on their mind for a very, very long time. And when they did what they just recently did, they only bought 2% of Grubhub, which might not sound like a lot, but I guarantee you that they are going to be higher. In the article I actually did in that video, it said by the end of the year they're supposed to be somewhere around 13% ownership. But kind of the way I look at it personally is just Takeaway bought Grubhub last year in 2021, and they didn't like that decision. They bought it for over $7 billion, and right now they're talking about offloading it for 1 point something $billion. And Amazon's starting to talk about getting into, and they've bought part of Grubhub. I fully see that just because when Jeff Bezos and Amazon gets into something, they want all in and they want full control over it. I could really see Amazon at some point fully owning Grubhub and using that as their food delivery platform that they own, because again, they tried to get into it in 2015 and it didn't work. But Grubhub is well established, it has a large customer base, and I really see Amazon someday owning it outright and growing Grubhub because of the network that they have, obviously through Amazon. There's over 1 billion people that use Amazon. They got power there to grow Grubhub if they choose to do it.
Exactly, grow it, hit every home, and come with these deals. Come with these deals. Shop Amazon Prime. You get this and that. You can order. They're gonna have some things set up. I do agree, and that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I completely see the possibility that is there. Now you just mentioned the 2%, but by the end it's going to be 13%. People, you got to understand, from 2% to 13%, that's a liking. That's a liking and a future interest, need, and desire. Okay, they've discovered something, and by getting that 13%, that will allow them to do a little bit more, figure out if they can get these things in order, and if they can, people, they will go ahead and do their thing. So
yeah,
it's very.
I can really see Amazon owning Grubhub. Based on what I've read and what I know of Amazon. I mean, Amazon, when they get into something, they just take it over and push it forward as hard as they can.
Yes. Now, I want to ask you this. Now, I'm in California, and I get the Proposition 22. It's only been in for like two years now. But a lot of people say, they want it voted out, because there's a lot of people that really don't understand what a real independent contractor is and what's not an independent contractor. And some of them want it out, and they're saying, a lot of people in other states are saying it's going to get taken away. I want to let them know that it's impossible for them to pretty much, I won't say impossible, let me reword that. It's improbable, okay, that they're going to be able to take that away, because when it comes down to the legislation, people, and this is what everyone can do, they're talking, there is a 7/8 vote that makes it virtually improbable for it to be taken away. So, do your research on that, people, because it's going to stay. They may switch something as far as, but it's not going to be taken away. Now, from you being in a completely other state and you hear about Proposition 22, do you think bringing that in? Now, we have New York, we have Massachusetts, we have other states that are bringing it in. Do you think that, now I understand, so I want to understand, see it from someone else's point of view. Do you think that can be beneficial, let's say, where you live, and why?
I don't see it coming to Indiana anytime soon. It could in the long term. I know a little bit about Prop 22. I've heard some scuttlebutt about it, but I don't know a whole lot about it because it's 2,000 miles away from where I am. But I really don't know how I feel about it, because I haven't really talked to anybody about it, and I really don't have an answer there, Robert.
Okay.
I know there's some.
I'll break it down now. I'll break it down with it now. I'll break it down so you can understand how it works.
Yeah,
all right. So in California, so what what we voted in was that, when you accept these orders, you accept them, but then let's say you have the wait time, you're not getting paid for the wait time or any of that stuff, right? And let's say there's a problem, you have to call customer service. The order takes an extremely long period of time, right? Now,
Yeah.
you're only getting paid the regular pickup and drop off. Now, what Prop 22 does, once you hit accept, you start getting paid from you accepting the order and from when the order is completed. So
Okay.
meaning if you have to call customer service during your order and all of that, all the way until all that stuff is done, you're going to get paid. Now we have a $16 hour in my area guaranteed for minimum wage. So let's say you get an order and let's say the base pay is $3. Okay, that $3 is not $16 an hour guaranteed. You would
Right.
have to do a whole lot of orders in that hour to get the $16 an hour. So what they do is, for what they calculate it, so if you don't hit that number, then they give you the difference of what you should have made. So you get paid for all the active time until, like, let's say if it says you have 40 hours of dash time, but let's say Uber Eats. Let's say it says online time, I have 45 hours. Now it'll say active time, which means the orders that I was actually doing. Let's say it says there's 30 hours there. I'm going to get paid hourly for those 30 hours that were completed. They're going to give me the difference from all the other orders, and they're going to give that to me every other week because that's what you're going to get paid hourly. Now, you still get paid all your money for the orders by itself. That doesn't change. They're just giving this to you because you did those hours.
Okay. One question I have regarding that then is, do you make more money because of Prop 22?
You make more money simply because of this. You're not changing what you were doing to begin with. However you work on your multi-apping and doing whatever you do, you're still going to do that the same. The only difference is the hours that say you were active, those count for you getting paid money now. So now they're going to give you a second check for those hours. You're getting paid more money. You're getting paid more money.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and I understand what it does. I don't know that personally I would actually make more money having that system in place where I am because of how I treat the orders when I run into those situations. I've actually done videos on this, and I don't know that I would necessarily, in my marketplace and the strategies that I use, I don't think I would make more money.
No, now check this out. Now here is the eye opener. Here is the eye opener here. All right. So
And I can tell you why if you want to know, but
no. And I'm pretty, because there's a lot of people that say, well, it's gonna make you just want to go and take orders. Now here is, that does not matter. The same way how you were doing your work, you don't have to change anything that you are doing. Nothing. If you finish the week with 38 hours of active time on, you finish the week with 38 active time. There is nothing. How you picked your orders to make sure that your pay is all the way the highest for you, you are not going to stop that at all. Here is the only thing that happens. When the next week starts, those 38 hours, they're going to say, hey, you worked 38 hours of active time. We're just going to give you this money.
okay.
Nothing you're doing is changing. Nothing.
Well, with that being said, then yes, I do think I would make more money after you said that. But I was going to say, when I run into those situations at restaurants in my marketplace, we pick the orders based on what they're offering us with the dollars to hour and the dollars per mile. And,
Right.
we look and we try to pick the best orders from us. So if I get to a restaurant and they tell me, well, we're really busy tonight, it's going to take 20 or 25 minutes, I'll say, all right, no problem. I'll turn on my other apps and I'll go, or I will go run other orders while I'm waiting on that order to get
Right.
done. So
Yeah.
that's why I was saying that I wouldn't make more money, but you're actually right. I probably would make more money on top of what I am because they'd still pay me even if I was doing orders on other apps.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole thing, that when people say we don't get paid to wait and all that, that's what they took out just in case. just in case. Let's say they're backed up, or let's say, and we all know this when you're dealing with fast food, if someone orders chicken strips or chicken breast, people, it is going to be a wait. That chicken breast and chicken strip, it has to cook through. You know what I mean? So they put that in place to ease in case you get hit with a situation like that. So you're not gonna feel as bad. So you don't have to cancel it. You know what I mean? Because if you cancel it, you wasted gas driving there, spending. You spend time driving there, wasting gas. Then you're gonna wait for a little bit, then decide to cancel it. So instead of having you lose all of that, they said, let's put this in so that you can go ahead and have it. And then on top of it, every quarter, if you work 370 hours, you get $1,271 for a healthcare stipend. And if you do 190 hours, you get $637 for your healthcare stipend. In California, everyone has to have insurance. So by them doing that, you're actually able to pay for your medical insurance. And because you are a gig driver, your medical, vision, dental, if you want to have an HSA or FSA, all of that stuff is a little cheaper because they take into the account of your wear and tear of your vehicle and all that stuff. So that healthcare stipend goes in to, the help for that. But most people, they're on a good plan. So when it comes in, that just can go in. If your insurance is already paid, that can help towards your vehicle, other things like that, oil changes, all that other stuff. It helps out for all of that.
Well, that actually sounds like not a bad piece of legislation. Is there any like negatives from this legislation that you've run into?
Here is the only negative thing with the legislation. It's the what makes you an independent contractor, and what allows the Prop 22 is only for the gig apps. It's not made for the truck drivers or anyone else that's you have a license and you're going out doing your thing. It only works for that. So there's the thing there. But if you're not in that field, you really don't care about that. Really, I'm going to be honest. You would hope that it can get to everyone, but we can't do anything until it's switched. So until it's switched, I do gig apps. That's what I do. Now we have the separation with drivers that say, well, they're just trying to make us take other orders so we have a higher acceptance rate. Well, that could be part of the plan also, because there's too many orders that are being thrown out and places are wasting money. The businesses, you have to think about that. And if they keep losing money, how are they going to keep their staff on hand to give you the orders out there faster? So there is a way. There's people out there who don't understand and break it down how I know how to break it down. So they don't understand how to drive like me. But there's other people that it absolutely is going to make them just take whatever order. It's going to make them get more into the loop. If it does that helped out the cycle. But someone like me, because I don't multi-app in that way, I spend my time, I'll do one app for this amount of time, and then this one like this. So I'm still taking the orders and knocking them out for them. You know what I mean? Other people don't know how to do it like me. So there's a pro and con with misunderstanding the information and what it is. There's so many people here in this state that don't even understand what it is and how it works. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, and that's why the other states like New York and you have Massachusetts, they put in the hourly thing for the drivers also. Now, they don't have the healthcare stipend. They don't have that part, but they did add in an hourly because they're actually seeing on how that can absolutely help. And there was a lot of New York drivers who were watching my channel. No, that stuff will never work. It's this and that. And I said, watch, some of you guys are going to be hypocrites. And then they say, well, we won't do it. You have no choice. Once you hit accept, you are already into the mix. You're going to get paid that no matter. Once you hit accept, you're going to get paid that. So I said, a lot of you guys are going to be hypocrites because you're absolutely going to see, because once you do your own trial and error to do your own math, to get your own metrics to see, dang, this actually really works, you're gonna be a hypocrite. And then, you're going to say, you know what? I didn't understand it like this. Yeah, they're not trying to make you, nothing's ever put in place to make you lose money. It's just a new system. You have to figure out how to make the most of the new system. That's all it is.
Yeah, to me, I'd almost do similar to what you're talking about, whereas, really get the higher acceptance rating on my best app and just, go to town on that thing as much as I could in that type of environment.
Yes, yes, yes. People, this was a great one here. Now, let the people know on every platform, social media wise, where they can find you at.
Really, I've got a Instagram page. I've got a Facebook page, but I really don't do anything on them. I'm so focused on YouTube and building my YouTube channel. Again, the whole time thing that I talked to you about before. But I do have my business phone number and my email address in all of my descriptions in every single video, and I've had multiple people contact me, asking me questions, just saying hi, that kind of thing through my email and my phone number. Someday I might get into the other platforms, but right now I'm truly focused on YouTube. Still learning how to do editing and still, setting myself up, learning how to actually shoot videos. So I'm kind of really focused there right now. If you want to reach me, the easiest way is to shoot me an email to the McfallRi@gmail.com, and I look at that email every day.
Yes, yes, yes. Now seeing that people, how we made this happen quick. He's checked my videos out. Now that you've seen the videos and that you see what Hot Facts is and what it's all about, let me know what you feel about it.
Yeah, and I really try to lay out an educational platform on YouTube and try to teach people to help them do better when they're out there. That's the whole goal of my channel, Robert, and that's what my channel is always going to be. It'll never diverge and become anything else other than education, helping people try to make more money and help people manage the money that they already have. That's what I'm geared towards with my channel.
Yep, and now that you've seen the Hot Facts, let the people know what you feel about the Hot Facts and being on here for the first time.
I really enjoyed the conversation, and I really enjoyed the dialogue, and I appreciate so much that you asked me to come on and talk to you. I'd love to come on again at some point, maybe to talk about a specific topic. And I look forward to having a little bit more time for myself to be able to start doing more things like this. And I'm so grateful that you were the first, and thank you so much for inviting me on, Robert. And I appreciate you helping my channel out by putting it out in front of maybe some new people that haven't seen my channel before. And bless you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, you got 1,600 subscribers, so you are in the mix there, and you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna ask you if you ever want to come back on, especially for certain topics. I can bring you on and then give your expert opinion on some things and break some things down and go over some things. I have a group of guys that I can bring on here to have a really great discussion.
Yeah.
So all the way.
I'd be more than happy to come on here again, and if there's something specific that you want to discuss, and I'd be more than happy to put my thoughts to it and hear others' opinion, because that's how I learn too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, people, I want to thank you guys for watching. People, it's 1:45. Now, this was Hot Facts interview, people. Coming up in just a little bit, in about 20 minutes, people, after I go check on the gumbo that I'm making in there. I'm going to be coming back with Hot Facts with Robert Reese Live, people. We are going to be discussing, there was a police officer that used a taser on a woman who did not steal. Okay, so we'll be going over that situation there. I will see you guys there, but as of this, you guys absolutely know what I do at this point. I cannot leave until we get a round of applause. And I'm signing out like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. I will see you guys later.